Good afternoon, people of the Netherlands. This evening, we bring you urgent news from across Europe. The world is on the edge of destruction and chaos, and the war is raging on. From, from the rising of these horrible leaders to innocent country Poland in the process of invasion, and the horrible abuse of innocent children and civilians. This is urgent crisis of our continent and is beginning to scare the end of our tolerance. How do we arrive at this present time of crisis? What is the fate of our beloved country? And most important, what do we do from here? Stay tuned as we uncover the truth.
The world is in the descent of darkness. The events of the war were woven in the posts of the Great War. The humiliation of the economic ruin has taken fuel of the resentment of the enemy. Germany, as the sworn enemy, Adolf Hitler, the leader of the notorious Nazi Party, has shown his anger and is making a promise of the strength of the unity while defeating his opponents. Under the Benito Mussolini, the leader of Italy, has embraced Hitler's idealism of fascism. And also in the East, Soviet Union leader Joseph Stalin unionized with an iron fist. These rulers of authoritarian now will decide the fate of millions of innocent civilians. As the power grew, also their ambitions grew. As France and Britain attempted gratification, allowing the Germans to gaining power and take the beloved countries of Austria and Czechoslovakia. With no fight, but the fateful invasion of Poland has changed it all. As the Smithsonian states, the recently released list of 425,000 suspected Nazi collaborators lays bare the profound and lasting impact of an authoritarian regime. A regime whose centralized, brutal control reshaped Dutch society during and after the occupation.
The invasion of Poland war erupts. As of this year, September 1st, 1939, German troops have crowded through Poland, their tanks storming through with tremendous brutality. As in a day later, the Soviets strike with power from the east. Within only a couple weeks, Poland is split into two different powers. Both Britain and France both infamously have declared war on the opposition Germany. And now the world is swallowed by the conflict and power of conflict.
As the Library of Congress states, on September 1st, 1939, the Wehrmacht crossed the Polish border, an aggressive act that not only ignited a continent-wide war but also underscored the expansionist ambitions of a regime driven by totalitarianism ideology.
For our fates, the beautiful country we all know, the Netherlands, this war seems to have uneasiness, as we, as the Netherlands, remain neutral in the Great War, but we do not know how long this neutrality will protect us.
The grip of the Nazi occupation tightens. Answers came in May 1940, when the German forces have in fact invaded our land. As we know, the bombs rained down onto Rotterdam, and within only a couple days, our country was forced to surrender, as our Queen Wilhelmina had fled to Britain to escape. But we as a country, the Dutch people, has remained under the rule of Nazis. Our lives have changed in drastic measures. The Jewish citizens are being forced to walk out of their jobs in their own homes, with being marked with Star of David. These forces have imposed limitations and control over the everyday aspects of our lives. Our own people have faced censorship and began rationing and the fear of restraint. Okay guys, so we're currently walking through the Netherlands in the camps right now. And it's pretty dang dark because we got to keep it down. There's a lot of war going on all the way out there. You can actually hear it right now. And yeah, just try not to get caught. Holocaust, a crime against ourselves, and now a war that cannot defined by words. Across the lands of our beloved land of Europe, Nazis have started the process of exterminating Jewish people. These innocent Jewish people are rounded up and are being deported from our old cities, which were sent in the east. You may ask, what happens to them there? Many rumors speak of so-called death camps of gas chambers. The Nazis call this from their brainwashed minds the final solution, but we call it murder. Jewish communities in our country, the Netherlands, that were once so vibrant is disappearing right in front of us. Families are being completely torn and their homes are being emptied out. The Frank family, as well as millions of others, has gone into hibernation and are having the hope of it being over soon. But how do we know how many will survive? As the U.S. National Archives states, this collection of RG-84 evidence documents through the painstaking records, systematic deportation and persecution of Dutch Jews, a stark archive evidence the grim realities of the Holocaust in the occupied Netherlands. Yet the retaliation grows. Dutch brave citizens have started to step up and risk their lives to hide the remaining persecution and to flank their occupiers in hopes to fight back for once. The prices of resistance is very high, but our citizens refuse to be unspoiled. This war is no doubt far from being over. French and British soldiers will fight back, but the machine that faces us is nothing but relentless. But you may ask, where will this war strike next? Soviet Union? Britain as itself? What will this be for our fate as the occupied? We all know that one thing is certain, the war will create a molding for the future of our nation, and so forth the rest of the world. Will any freedom for our country begin to endure? As we take an ending to this broadcast for tonight, we will remind you and ourselves of what you need to do. Stay as strong as possible for this war, stay extremely vigilant, and always remind yourself this war is not only about borders and battles, it is mainly about the fact of the survival of ourselves and the whole world itself. We will indefinitely return with as many possible updates as they begin to become a reality. Until this is over, be as safe as can be and never lose any of the hope that you have.